You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, believe it or not, I'll probably get some hate for this video. Why? Because for some reason, there are still fans out there that swear up and down Anthony Richardson's got potential. I'm not sure why. They're hanging out with all the Trey Lance fans right now. So anyway, this is exactly what I believed the Colts were going to do this offseason. And as of right now, it's very likely Anthony Richardson will probably request a trade or get traded or hell get cut for all I know. He's still on a rookie contract. It has not worked out. All right. He has not shown the skills and the progression needed to be an NFL quarterback, or starting level quarterback, and I would argue not even a backup. All right? Not even a backup, because there's still some real elementary things in his game that might prevent him from being able to run an offense. I mean, look, I understand he's got a monster arm. I understand he's fast. And who knows, maybe with the right quarterback coach, somebody could do something with him. But you're talking about Shane Steichen, a guy that helped make Jalen Hurts into a superstar. I don't know what to tell you. It seemed like the perfect marriage until they realized it wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you are still subscribed to this channel. Anthony Richardson's future. Per ESPN's Stephen Holder, it's starting to seem, quote, inevitable that Anthony Richardson will request a trade from the Colts this offseason as they plan to move forward with Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback when he is able to return from a torn Achilles. The other part of this equation is the fact that Riley Leonard actually kind of flashed last year. So I would guess Riley Leonard will be the backup. It is unclear where Richardson stands in his recovery from an eye infection suffered in October during pregame warmups. Good God. Colts head coach Shane Steichen told reporters on December 18th that Richardson returned to practice, but had still been, quote, limited with some vision limitations in his right injured eye. Good God. Richardson said on the same day he's improved a lot since the injury originally occurred. The Colts are in a difficult spot with their quarterback position this offseason. There is optimism that Jones can be cleared by the time that training camp opens, but it would seem to be in their best interest to add a strong backup, given the struggles that recent quarterbacks returning from Achilles injuries have had. We just talked about that yesterday, about how it's likely Daniel Jones will be better year after next than next year. It didn't seem like Richardson would be a viable number 2 role in Indianapolis anyway. They just told you. They don't seem as a viable backup. He struggled in his first 2 seasons, which prompted Steichen and general manager Chris Ballard to bring in Jones as a free agent last offseason. Another factor that could contribute to Colts' decision is whether or not to trade Richardson is the lack of draft capital. They don't have a first-round pick for the next 2 years stemming from a Sauce Gardner trade, which now looks arguably like a horrible trade. We'll find out next year, but as of right now, it doesn't look real great. Even though Richardson is unlikely to bring back a significant return, the Colts could get something of value. Kenny Pickett, who was a first-round pick in 2022, was traded by the Steelers to the Eagles in March of 2024 for 3 draft picks, including a third-round selection. They're not getting 3 draft picks for Anthony Richardson. Richardson has 1 fewer year remaining on his rookie deal than Pickett did, so his value might be slightly lower. But he's only 23 and has tremendous physical skill that a new head coach might be intrigued at trying to develop. The Florida alum has thrown for 2,400 yards, run for 634, and accounted for 21 touchdowns in 17 games in the past 3 seasons. Something we didn't even talk about there. He can't stay healthy. I mean, that's part of this too, is that he's been hurt so many times that there's been no consistency in being able to develop the guy. You know, for him to learn the position. And you heard what that article said. They don't necessarily see him as even a viable number 2. That is a not good indictment. I don't know why in the world that they would think, look, in my opinion, Kenny Pickett is better than Anthony Richardson, and it's not even close. Does he have Richardson's physical skills? No. Not even close. But he can throw the ball at about a 67% clip too. And he can functionally run an offense, especially as a backup. He's a competent backup. All right, to borderline tail-end starter level, like number 34 quarterback in the league kind of thing, and I'm talking about Kenny Pickett, Anthony Richardson, where is he? I mean, if you are a team, if you're a contending team, do you want to go into the season with Anthony Richardson as your backup quarterback? Because if you do, I don't know what to tell you as a fan. That would be general manager organizational malpractice because he's not ready to play quarterback in the NFL. He's a cautionary tale, by the way. It's not all on Anthony Richardson for this reason. He should have never been drafted. He should have never come out in the draft. 13 games, I believe 13 games at Florida. I believe he came out, he might have still had 2 years of eligibility left. In fact, I think he should have just come out in the draft last year. If he would have stayed for his full eligibility, what would that have done for him? Well, it would have either fully exposed him, dropping him as a late round pick, or he would have been much further along in his development coming into the league. But regardless, there wouldn't be all these expectations on him. And like I said, there seems to be a fan base out there. I'm going to be real. I'm going to tell you who's shown more flashes than Anthony Richardson, Joe Milton. All right. Now him as a backup quarterback, okay. I could see it. And he's got the same kind of arm and the same kind of running ability as Anthony Richardson, but he's a better passer, and he needs a lot of work. By the way, they just told you Daniel Jones probably going to be the starter for the Colts. Figured he would be. But there's still some guys you want to kind of peek one little eye on. Kirk Cousins would be one, I would guess. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.